Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Back with another one. I know y'all ain't seen me in a long time, especially with teaching at this time. It's self-love. But I am back, and I got a new book. A new book. And it is called The Dark Psychology. I know y'all know about this book, but I wanted to let y'all know this is what we're going to be working on my channel, Dark Psychology. And this book is good because it's 9 in 1. It's for emotions, manipulation, body language, influence, mind control, lies and deception, and mind games. I know y'all know about that. I've been through it all. But I come on my channel to teach others about dark psychology as well, because I had to go through a lot of people like this in my life that had emotions as well as manipulation, learning their body language, mind control, as well as lies and deception, as well as mind games. I had to learn this, Facebook and YouTube. I had to learn about people and how they move. And I brought this book to you guys because I want y'all to learn about people and how they move. Because everybody got a personality. Okay? So, we gonna start. So, we're gonna start on emotional manipulation. So, let's start Facebook and YouTube. We are on emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is a powerful force that can leave last effectiveness and involve both emotional and psychology. If you find yourself emotional drain and inheritance and often confused, it is time to understand what and who is causing it. The things about emotional vampires is they are not only sucking your energy into the toxic loop, but they can also make you doubt your truth. Make it hard for you to call out emotional manipulation for what it is. It is possible to escape from the grasp of manipulation. Can you learn recently to avoid manipulation before it takes over your life? Or you can engage in the process of yourself, doing more harm to your relationships than good. The best offense is to become knowledgeable about the fine details of emotional manipulation, so that you can regularly, and how you subsidize it is you can see it when it's happening. In the book, you will develop into the world of emotional manipulation, exploring in techniques as well as warning signs and motives. By understanding the method using by manipulation, you can empower yourself to fight off their influences into your life. With the knowledge, you can develop strategies as well as resist emotional manipulation. The tactics of emotional manipulation can be difficult into ideas, and often starts with a gaining control as well as the authority of others. By the warning signs, surely as someone trying to dominate the conversation, ignoring your opinions, or making you feel guilty for expressing yourself. You could take private steps to protect yourself. Emotional manipulation can affect, but alert with the knowledge you can fight back. Are you ready for emotional power over your emotions and resurrect your emotional manipulation? Let's take a look into the shadow side of manipulation and minds. So let's go back, Facebook and YouTube. Gaining control, a way of controlling others, is manipulation. So it's like you can have a conversation with someone, okay, Facebook and YouTube, and they can use that against you for you expressing yourself. So expressing yourself is one. Making you feel guilty about your feelings is two. Ignoring your opinions is three. Four is trying to dominate the conversation. That is emotional manipulation. YouTube and Facebook. So we on chapter 1. Okay. Emotional manipulation techniques. The emotional manipulation will try to gain control and use psychology traits. Many of these traits involve in verbal as well as insecurities and the lack of knowledge. This allows the manipulation to gain the upper hand and a sense of control. It is important to notice that manipulation often avoids confronting instead. So they don't like no one confronting them. When someone's trying to manipulate you, they don't like you to confront them. They don't. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it at all. Instead of focusing on the methods of influence, if you want to learn more about the traits and how to, read on. Guilt trip is the first one. Guilt trip is a common trait used by emotional manipulation in gaining control of a situation, assisting their authority. It involves us guilt to manipulate someone into doing something they would not be normally to do. Surely as giving in and making decisions that would not otherwise make. So, guilt tripping is common traits used by emotional manipulation to gain control of a situation. So, guilt trip is they want to control a situation. It's also involving guilt of manipulating someone in their conversation, or they make someone feel guilty of something normally that they won't even do. The process. Manipulation traits makes the other person feel guilty. They are not doing good enough, doing enough. So it says manipulation increase as well as intentions and unintentions. Makes the other person feel guilty, but they are not doing enough or behaving in a certain way. The type of emotional manipulation can lead to powerful issues, trust issues, and boundaries setting issues. Guilt tripping leads to a powerful issue because it allows the manipulator to gain control over the other person's emotions and actions, but make someone feel guilty. The manipulation can make them feel with their wishes and determinations. This can create an imbalance of power into a relationship, where one person holds the power to manipulate the other emotions. True issues can arise when guilt tripping is usually a manipulating technique. When someone is considering using guilt to manipulate others, it is the trait within the relationship. The person being manipulating may start to doubt their intentions and authority of the manipulator, lead to a breakdown in trust. This can make it difficult for the relationship to thrive and can create a sense of insecurities and concerns. Boundary setting issues also arise for guilt tripping. Manipulation often push the boundaries of others and make them feel guilty for not meeting their expectations and determinations. This can lead to the person being manipulated and feeling unstable to assist their own needs and boundaries. So this can lead the person of being manipulated and feeling unstable to assist their own boundaries. They may feel guilty for saying no or setting limits, which can result into the manipulation and crossing their boundaries. Over time, this can be a result in the person being manipulated and feeling overwhelmed, reconsidering in unstable and healthy relationships. This sense of examples will help you to understand guilt tripping and manipulating someone's emotions. So, this is the examples. A partner considers to make others feel guilty for spending time with friends. So when your partner is making you feel guilty of spending time with friends, family, lovers, not lovers, but family and friends, that is a sign. That's a red sign. It has something to do with that. Okay? As well as your friends and family can do the same thing. They can manipulate you as well. Okay? But it says here, surely a personal. So it says a partner considers to make the other feel guilty for spending time with friends and pursuing personal intentions. That the other person is negative them. So the other person is neglecting them. So it's like you could go spend time with your friends, or let's say you go to spend time with your lover, or you go to spend time with your lover and your family is saying, well, you always spend time with your lover here. That is like putting negative on. It's like that is causing the person to feel guilty of hanging around their lover, or hanging around their friend, or hanging around their co-workers as well. Okay? So it says here, this important of the other person is neglecting them, is not pursuing the relationship enough, and causing the person to feel guilty and canceling their plans. So they cancel their plans of being around their friends. They cancel their plans of being around they family, because the person feel like they not giving them time. Okay? Another one is a parent guilting their child into doing something that they don't want to do by saying things. If you really love me, you would. Or I sacrifice so much for you. Or the least you could do is. This makes the child feel guilty with the parent wishes, even if that's going against their own desires and needs. It says a co-worker consider making a co-worker, this got something to do with a co-worker as well, makes their colleagues feel guilty for not making an extra job work or stay late. They impact the other as not pulling the weight, or they're not being a team player, causing the co-workers to feel guilty to overrate themselves to meeting the manipulating experiences. So it's like a coworker be like, you ain't doing no, you ain't staying late, you ain't doing this. It makes that person feel guilty. Okay? That's manipulation. In all these experiences, guilt trips is used as a way of manipulating others into behaviors and ways to meet the manipulating needs. What you can do when facing guilt trips is important identity, the manipulating motives, and setting boundaries. So you need to set boundaries for people that manipulate you and guilt trip you. Embracing clear boundaries can help you to protect yourself from the manipulator and allowing you to remain in control of your situation. It's important to improve and understand the copes as well. So it's important to understand the coping strategies. So knowing their strategies, knowing how they move. I had to learn this, Facebook and YouTube. It's good to learn your enemy strategies and their moves. Because when you know they moves, then you know how to move. It says here, with assessing communication is avoiding listening. It can help build trust and create a safe space for understanding and respect. So getting to know who they are and they manipulating ways and things like that, you learn them. It says, listen, it's important for false promises. So when somebody telling you a false promise, oh, I'ma love you, baby girl, I'm gonna be your girl, you gonna be my dude, and they don't know you from a can of paint, something wrong with that. They don't know your name, they don't know your birthday, they don't know what you like, they don't know nothing about you, but they telling you they want to be with you. It's a red flag. Okay, it's a red flag for that. Okay. When they tell you false promises, your family can tell you false promises, your lovers can tell you false promises, your co-workers can tell you false promises, your child can tell you false promises, your parents can tell you false promises. When they're telling you false promises, things that is not true. It says here, emotional manipulation may be false promises and guilt tripping someone in doing something that they don't want to do. It says it is important for this false promises and it can be swindling by them. So they can swindle you by using false promises. You get what I'm saying? So that is emotional traits. It's more emotional traits, but the first one is guilt tripping. When someone's guilt tripping you. And guilt tripping, Facebook and YouTube, is emotional manipulation and gaining control of a situation. Guilt tripping is feeling guilty. They want you to feel guilty for what you want to do for yourself. They want to use techniques and manipulation techniques to make you feel guilty for who you are. For making you feel guilty for speaking up for yourself. For making you feel guilty for knowing your boundaries. That is what guilt tripping is. Okay? And I've been through this, Facebook. I went through guilt tripping and all these techniques in here by people that I met. But I learned about their techniques as well. It taught me a lesson. It taught me a lesson. But I tell y'all this because I want y'all to know about people that y'all be around. And one of them is guilt tripping. The next one we're going to be on next week is going to be gaslighting. When someone is gaslighting you. Okay? Then the next one is going to be playing on your emotions. When somebody playing with your emotions. But we ain't on that one yet. We are on gaslighting next time I'll be talking to you guys. We was just on guilt tripping. This book is very wonderful. I have a video about this book as well on my Facebook. Okay, it's good to know people dark sides in psychology. Okay, so I just wanted to give y'all that, and I wanted to let y'all know what is emotional traits. So we're on emotional traits. That's the first chapter. But the topic we talked about today is it is called guilt tripping. Okay, when someone is guilt tripping you. Okay, that is that. I got some more books that's coming in, but I wanted to give y'all that, scoop on that. Okay, so I'm gonna pull y'all a card and see what's coming in here for y'all. I'm glad y'all came on my channel to see what I had to say and things like that. I try to teach people about the dark side of others, because I'm going to tell you something. I know y'all know my story. I know y'all so tired of listening to my story. But I'm going to tell you something. I've been through it all, baby. I've been through the ringer. I've been through the ringer with others in my lifetime. But they taught me a lesson. I went through the ringer of people manipulating, gaslighting, and all type of things to me. I was a good person. Kind-hearted. I used to give the shirt off my back to others. Until I had to learn giving the shirt off your back to the wrong person is the wrong thing to do. And that means to your friends. My friends, I thought was my friend, was not my friend. They was users. And they used manipulation. And I had to learn their techniques. As well as lovers. I had to learn their techniques as well. Lovers, you can be there for them all day long, but they gonna have to learn how to do stuff for themselves, and they gonna have to learn how to heal for themselves. You can't heal your lover as well as you can't heal your friend. I had to learn that. Only person you can heal is yourself, and I had to learn to heal myself. That's why I help others about the dark psychology or the dark side of others. Because you don't know when you see in the dark side of others. You have to learn that. In your life, a lot of people won't even tell you about their dark side. You're going to have to learn that. And everyone in this world have a dark side. I had to learn my dark side. Mine was letting others manipulate me. Until I had to learn not to let them do it anymore. Now when someone comes to me and try to manipulate me, I speak up for myself. And I don't care what they think about me. Just as well as I don't care what anybody think about me in this world. I came in this world for a purpose. Facebook and YouTube. And the purpose that I came in this world for is to help others. As well as to help them to heal the inner child. As well as to heal their dark side. And healing their dark side is also learning their dark side. And as they learn their dark side, it helps them to accept who they are. When you accept your dark side, and that's all the way back to the childhood. Your childhood, that means going through trauma, people abusing you, mentally and physically. When people are abusing you as a child and mentally and physically, you go through this through child, teenager years, and you also can go through it in adult years as well. I had to learn those things. I was a kind-hearted person, and now I'm not. I'm very kind-hearted to the certain people that needs to be kind-hearted to. And that means I accept who I'm kind-hearted to now. I'm not kind-hearted to everybody. I had to learn that. I had a hard life, Facebook. My life was hard, like I told you. I lived on the streets half of my life. I had nobody. But I had the Most High God in Jesus Christ. I had people that act like they was my friend, and I had people that, family members that act like they cared about me, but they didn't. They only cared about themselves. And then I had to learn to care about myself. And now I do. I don't accept anything and everything, and I don't accept people to manipulate me, gaslight me. I see those traits. I see the lies, and I see the broken promises and things like that now. I had to learn that, and I had to go through the dark night of the soul for that as well. I was suicidal as well. in my 20s, because I used to always think, why am I going through what I'm going through? I even been around people that judge other people and their life is real messed up, but they judging someone else. My life is not perfect, Facebook. Every day I learn, as every day I'm a teacher, but I also learn from others. I am not perfect in this world, and I go through struggles every day. I suffer every day. But you can suffer and still move on with your life. I'm doing good, Facebook. I'm so happy. Going back to school for me is a wonderful thing, and I'm going back to school. I'm finna get my CNA license. It's a wonderful thing. I'm going to be a nurse pretty soon, and I'm also going for my real estate license as well. And look, they said I had a disability, but I am learning, and I have learned about my disabilities. I had PTSD, and that is something that you go through as a child, trauma as a child. I went through those things, and I went through therapy through those things by doing DBT, and I also went through those things by learning from my experiences through others. Yes, everybody has a trait, but that one thing I learned about, even though my enemies is my enemies, that's a lesson you need to learn from them. Even if they your haters, it's a lesson you need to learn from them. I had to learn those things, and now today I'm a whole new person. I can say I had a long journey in my life. I told you back then my children was taken from me, and guess what? They grown now. But I had to heal that situation when I was going through that. When your children is taken from you, it hurts really bad as well. But I had to learn that the people that I hanged around was not good for me. So I learned to learn about my environment now. I got 3 other children that I still is in my car because I worked so hard with my mental health. I worked so hard of knowing who I was, and I didn't do it with other people. The Most High God taught me how to love me. I had to learn who I was. No one else taught me how to love me. And I had to learn my life experiences. They was real hard to learn, but I did learn them. So now I can say I'm in my purpose. So now I can say I'm enlightened. And now I can help others because I have filled my cup and I have forgave everyone from my past. I don't mess with my past, no. But I forgive everyone that done me wrong, and I thank them for the lessons that I learned in my life. I wasn't perfect when I was a kid. I went through a lot of trauma and a lot of things in my life, you know. As one of them, as people judge others for being bisexual, that's what I am. I am bisexual. And a lot of people judge me. Even my mom judged me for that. She said that was abomination. But see, who is others to judge? Only God can judge you. I had to learn to know and love who I was. And yes, I am a bisexual female. So I had to learn to know that it's okay to be different. And I can say it's a wonderful thing. But see, people don't want to know themselves. They don't want to know the hard times. And the hard times, I can say I slept on the streets. I slept on a bench in St. Louis. I slept in abandoned buildings. I even slept in shelters. I slept in people's houses as well. And I slept in different places. And those places that I slept in, I can thank God that I got through it. Because the hardest places, sleeping in abandoned buildings, ain't good for you. Sleeping on the streets, anybody can kill you and take your life. But God watched over me and gave me strength. I can say I had no one. I got a little brother. I love my brother so much. He my only sibling. He all I have in this world. But I can say my brother taught me lessons too. He taught me, don't let nobody do you. That's one thing I can say about my brother. My mama taught me lessons too. She taught me, don't depend on others. And one thing I can say, my lovers that I met in my lifetime taught me to love myself. And they didn't just teach me to love myself. They taught me to know who I am and to stand for myself and stand up for myself. My friends, they taught me a lesson too. They taught me not to give everything you got to your friends. If they not giving in return, don't give to them. I have learned all those lessons in my life. Ain't nothing in this world is perfect, and you will go through suffering each and every day. That's the lesson that we have to go through. It's in the Bible if you read it, because I read it every day as well. I have met other people that have mental illnesses. I have met people that has messed up situations. But all I can say about them people, they need to heal the inner child. And they need to heal themselves and go back all the way back to their past to heal. That's the only way they will heal. It took me a year and some months, I gotta say, Facebook. It took me a year and some months, some years. Not 1 year, but several years for me to heal. For me to heal and for me to know who I was. Because I'm going to tell you something. I was down and out. And I was one of those homeless people that was on the streets that's asking for money and stuff. I was one of those people. But now today, look at me now. I can say building my empire. That means building my business to help others. My business for those jewelry and things that I make is for the homeless. It's for me to help the homeless as well. I can say I am on my way of getting my degree, my CNA license, and my real estate license, and I will be getting my LLCs pretty soon. I had went a long way, and guess what? Only the Most High God helped me. God and Jesus Christ. No one else helped me but them. And the people, my enemies helped me. My haters helped me. They helped me to become who I am today. And I gotta say, thank you for that. Because that helped me to be a boss. I'm a boss. I'm a boss, man. You heard me? It taught me to be a boss, my haters. You heard me? So, I'm sorry I had to tell you my little story, but you know. Okay, we on intentions of garden. I take time to tend my garden, and I spend time to meditate, self-care, and my soul within. Myself I grows, the fruit I eat. You hear me? Tend to your own garden, and that's what I have done, as well as y'all need to. It has something to do with observing of the mind. I am happy-hearted today and will be full of joy in moments, waiting for me to discover my gratitude, overflowing for the inner self to those around me. The mirror. Look at that mirror. You heard me? I look at myself in the mirror every day, my dark side as well as my light side. I do it every day. Journaling is a wonderful thing. Journal. Write down everything. You don't have to tell everybody your business. You can write it down in a book, and it's always there for you to remember. You take care, Facebook and YouTube. I love you guys. Bye bye. Keep doing self-love. Bye.